Today's story is disturbing. It's brutal. And it's one of the most horrific crimes ever reported in Mexico, a country currently facing a terrifying femicide crisis. This is the story of Magdalena Aguilar Romero, a young mother, a nutritionist, a woman full of dreams, whose life was taken in a way that shocked even the most seasoned investigators. Her killer wasn't a stranger. It was the man who once promised to love her forever. Magdalena lived in Tuxtla, a small, beautiful city in southern Mexico, famous for its silver and colonial charm. In 2011, Magdalena met Cesar Gomez Arciniega. At first, the relationship seemed normal, even happy. But just 6 months in, she became pregnant. The couple married, moved in together, and prepared for family life. It should have been a joyful time, but it quickly turned into something else. Cesar, who was 35 at the time, began showing signs of extreme jealousy. He didn't want Magdalena seeing her friends or even her own family. He controlled what she wore, wouldn't let her wear makeup, and even forbade her from exercising. That wasn't love. That was psychological abuse. Magdalena tried to keep the peace, especially for the sake of their children. But eventually, she couldn't take it anymore. With help from her parents, she left Cesar and took her 2 kids with her. Cesar begged her to come back. He apologized. He made promises. But Magdalena was done. She went back to school, finished her nutrition degree, and started her own business. She was taking her life back, step by step. But despite everything he did to her, Magdalena never kept the kids from him. She allowed Cesar to stay involved in their lives for their sake. And that decision would cost her everything. On the morning of January 13, 2018, Magdalena left her kids at Cesar's house. She told him she had a few clients to see and would pick the kids up later at the Zocalo, a public square in Tuxtla. Later that day, she went to pick up the kids as planned, but Cesar never showed up. So, Magdalena decided to go to his house on Guadalupe Street in Los Adobes neighborhood. That visit was her last known whereabouts. She never came back. Magdalena's mom started to worry that night. She sent messages, no answer. She called, straight to voicemail. She did what any mother would do. She went to Cesar's house looking for her daughter. Cesar and his mother claimed that Magdalena had come by, but left earlier that day. But something was off. Her mom noticed fresh scratches on Cesar's face. He looked nervous. Her gut told her something was wrong. That same night, Magdalena's family reported her missing. Her photo flooded social media. Posters went up in the streets. Everyone in Tuxtla was searching, hoping, praying. Just a few days later, the family's worst fears were confirmed. A representative from the state prosecutor's office came to the house with devastating news. Magdalena had been found dead, but what they discovered was beyond belief. Her body had been dismembered, and parts of her were found cooked inside pots, as if someone had tried to make pozole, a popular Mexican stew. It was the most gruesome, inhumane crime imaginable, and it all happened inside Cesar's home. Police immediately arrested Cesar's mother, who had been at the house. She was charged with helping cover up the murder. She would later be sentenced to 40 years in prison. But Cesar had vanished. He fled right after the crime. He was now a fugitive and would remain that way for over 4 years. An international arrest warrant was issued through Interpol, but Cesar had gone completely underground. Many people believed he had crossed into the United States. Others thought he was being hidden by family or friends. Years went by, but Magdalena's family never gave up. Then, in July 2022, there was a breakthrough. Cesar was found in Tijuana, right near the US border. He was arrested, and finally, after 4.5 years, taken into custody. A unitary court has sentenced the defendant to 55 years in prison, along with the suspension of rights, a hefty fine, and compensation for damages. The announcement came directly from the Guerrero prosecutor's office. Magdalena Aguilar Romero was more than a victim. She was a mother, a student, a fighter, and a woman full of dreams. Her story should not be forgotten. Her name should not fade into statistics. Let her life and her death remind us all of the urgent need for protection, justice, and change. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, speak up, reach out. There is help, and there is hope for Magda and for all the women still trying to survive. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please share it. Let Magda's story be heard and never forgotten.